Good afternoon and welcome to Friday with Fiona, and today is the Lasting Joy, using the Lasting Joy stamp set, and also this beautiful designer series paper which is masterfully made. I'll show that to you in a second when we get, in fact let's swap right over now to there we go, to see my hands. Dun, dun, dun. It's just going to adjust that. Okay, a bit. Oh, I thought it was. Should be straight. Okay, right. So there's a couple of things I want to share with you first. So now we're into August, and the kit sale is on. So there is 30% off all Stampin' Up kits, whether they be card kits, the birthday book, the wreath, any of them. There's also a new festive kit out, which is great. I've ordered that, so I'll share that with you when it comes. And there's 30% off absolutely all of them. So some of them include blocks. I'll show you the blocks, what they look like. They are really good quality. The blocks are like this. You get an ink spot in a different color. You get some dimensionals, some mini glue dots. There's usually some twine or thread or something, as well as sometimes a mini stamp set, and then some of the kits are kind of, there's no stamping involved, so you get pre-printed thank yous or happy birthdays or whatever, but there's a huge stock. So if you click on the link, it'll take you to my shop and have a look at the kits. So going back to, oh, that's the other thing. Yes, this came yesterday. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I can only show you the front cover, I'm afraid. So this is the mini catalogue, September to December. It goes on sale. I'm not sure what day. I think it's 2nd or 3rd of September. It doesn't say. 6th of September until the 3rd of January. So I can't show you the inside, unfortunately. It went on sale to demonstrators on Wednesday. We have a pre-order, so I have put an order in, and I will do an unboxing when that arrives, so that's exciting. I think I'm moving the wrong way so you can see me. So let's crack on. So this stamp set is kind of mainly sentiments, but then there are some flowers and some leaves. And the designer series paper, Stampin' Up have actually provided some videos on how they've made some of the papers, including this one. So I'll try and find that and maybe add it in the comments. But so this looks like torn paper, and what they've actually done is torn real paper and then photographed it, and yeah, it's amazing. So you've got flowers, you've got blocks of colour. I mean, it's just incredible. The colours are really bright and vibrant. Let's see. Obviously, I've used quite a bit of it already. There goes some more flowers. More flowers. More torn paper, leaves. And the colours that they've used are Azure Afternoon, Berry Blast, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Pumpkin Pie and Sweet Sorbet. So as you can see, really bright colours. Okay, so I've got 3 cards that I'm going to share with you today, and then I've got another one which I will post over the weekend. Well, I've got a stray, thank you there. Okay, so this is the stamp set, and these are my 3 cards. So we'll start with this one. Pretty quick and simple, but there is some die cutting involved. So I've made a label out of the Countryside Corners dies. So these are the dies, really great to use. And I've used Bubble Bath, love this colour, got everything ready. So what I've done is I've die cut, I think that's probably, yeah, 2nd smallest apart from the label. Sorry, 3rd smallest apart from the little label. The circle is actually from the Crafting With You, and it comes out of the inside of the embroidery. Not sure what you call that, embroidery circle. I don't do embroidery, so you can see I've got lots of outlines there, but that's where I got my circle from. Then another piece of designer series paper, which is going to go on the label, and that's kind of pretty much all there is to it. So apart from the die cutting, pretty quick and easy. Now what I need to do with my countryside corners is just punch a hole for the ribbon to go through. Now the way I've done that is, I'll just got too much on my table, I think. If you could see my desk, which I'm very glad you can't. So along the top here, it's fraction under 3. So I need to find the 1.5. I'm just going to do some lines, and hopefully that's going to show in my punch so that I can line it up. Yes, so then I can line it up with the middle, and then I've got my hole for my ribbon, and then I can do the same at the other end. And then if there's any pencil mark left afterwards, I can just rub it out. So there's a line there and there to line it up with. Let's get rid of these little. Okay, and then I've used the bubble bath ribbon, which is part of the trio. So you get lemon lolly, bubble bath, and azure afternoon. Just need to rub out these pencil marks. And then I'm going to go underneath and come up through. No, yeah, I'm gonna come up through. And I don't want to waste any, so I'm just going to line it up there. That should be okay. Get my ribbon scissors. And just trim that. I'm going to just pop a glue dot. To hold them together, and then I'll put a bit of twine. Oh, right, let's do that again. Put my glue dot on there and then line that up like that. And then I think I've used grey granite actually, rather than linen thread, because that matches the circles, grey granite. And I'm just going to tie that. So it's kind of accenting the label really. I love this idea of wrapping something around the bottom just to kind of hold it in place. I quite often forget to do this, but I do love it when I do. There we go. Right, so scissors. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my label, and then I've got my piece of designer series paper. So don't forget, this class to go is a free with purchase. So if you spend £27 in my online store, I will send you everything you need to make 2 each of these 3 cards. So 6 cards, that'll be the designer series paper, and I will die cut everything for you. So this piece is 4 centimeters by 6.7, and it just fits in there. In fact, I think that might be a trifle wide. I'm going to just snip a bit off. I'm doing it, there's like a indentation. I'm doing it from there to there, so it's 4.4. That wasn't quite straight. 4.4. And then now it should fit perfectly. And it has got kind of faded print. Yeah, that's much better. Faded print on it. So you need to make sure you get it the right way up. And just pop some seal on that. There we go. Okay, so I've got my other piece of design. So my card base is 29.6 by 10.5, scored at 14.8, and then my designer series paper is half a centimetre smaller, so 14.3 by 10. Okay, so let's just pop that onto our card base. Really, really love this pink. You can do it either way. Again, there's some writing there, so I'm trying to make sure I've got the writing the right way up. And I should have so you can see the bubble bath around the edge. Okay, then I'm just going to pop my label on that. So see that one I've cut, so it's just going off the edge because you want it to go in the envelope, so I'll probably trim that. So I'm just going to pop that on with some dimensionals, and I'll do the dimensionals so they also hold the ribbon in place. Need one there and one there. That should be enough. And then pop that down towards the bottom of the designer series paper and about halfway along. Right, as you can see, that's really coming out the top, so I'm just going to trim that a bit. There we go. If you were doing it the other way, portrait way, then obviously you could, I think I might need to make that a little bit smaller and trim that as well. I do like the effect of it hanging down, but it's a bit curly. Let's just snip a little bit off. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of my bits and pieces. Okay, so now I'm left with my circle and my little label. So I'm going to take my Lasting Joy stamp set, and I want to use Birthday Wishes. Birthday Wishes, there we go. And I'm going to stamp that in Fresh Freesia, I think. And then for the flowers, I want grey granite. Yeah, grey granite. So, right, so I'm going to do this in the middle. Birthday Wishes. Lovely. Okay, and then I want my flowers. I primarily got this set because of the sentiments, but actually the flowers are really cute. So they are in a, there's these ones that are all on one stamp and the leaves, and then you've got the individual ones and the leaves. So I'm going to do the individual one. And which leaves did I use there? I think I used those ones. Yeah, these ones. Okay. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I did find these leaves a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the leaves first and then kind of try and pop the flower in the middle, because I did it the other way around and I ended up with a bit of an issue. So, whoops. That's my leaves that side. That's my leaves that side. And I'm going to do exactly the same on my circle, and they're going to be top and bottom. I need to come a bit further out actually to give room for the flower. There we go. Right, so do the flower with the grey granite. Just checking. I've tried to raise my camera a bit so that I've got more of my desk on the screen. That worked better, yes. So I think my advice would be do the leaves, stamp the leaves first and then pop your flower in. If you do your flower, it's a bit of a nightmare trying to get your leaves around it. There we go. Okay, so all that's left now for card number 1 is to put my label across the middle of my circle, and I'll just use some seal for that. I usually use Seal Plus, but I seem to have gone through an awful lot lately and I'm waiting for some to come. There we go, birthday wishes, and then that's going to go flat on there because you've already got your label raised with the dimensionals. So you don't want to raise it too much higher because the postage will be ridiculous. I think I'm just about at the end. Yeah, I can see the red on that one. That's okay, I can go to Tombow. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to use, these are the 4-pack tinsel gems, and we've got the pink. So I'm just going to pop 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and there's card 1. So really pretty. I like that. Okay, then card number 2. This is where I've actually used the embroidery hoop. Embroidery hoop, that's what they're called. I've used the embroidery hoop. Now let's make sure I've got everything. Yeah, so this is grey granite. Loving grey granite. This is a piece, so it's usual size, 21, scored at 10.5 by 14.8, and then a piece of basic white, so 14.3 by actually I've done it small. I've done 9.5 by 13.8 because I wanted to show the grey granite a bit more. So I'm just going to pop that on. I'm going to use Tombow because of the embossing, and also my seals run out, but I won't, rather than using tear and tape. Why does it always happen that I run out of glues when I'm live? Not to worry. There we go. Let's just pop that straight on. And then you get to see a little bit of the grey granite. Quite like that actually, rather than just having a little. Get to see a bit more. Okay, then I've got 3 pieces of soft sea foam. And we're going to make like a little art gallery. And I'm doing that on the right side of the card as you look at it. So these are 2.5 by 5. So 2 pieces of those, and 1 square, which is 5 by 5. And then the designer series paper will be half, so 4, in fact, just a fraction, so that's 4.7 by 4.7. So you're really getting tiny bit of the soft sea foam around the edge. And then these are also 4.7 by 2.3. Okay, so all we've got to do is just pop some glue on those and add them to the soft sea foam. So again, relatively quick and simple. The thing that I find probably takes the time is the die cutting and obviously embossing the piece of white, but you know, not hugely. So it's like 2 bits, and then just need to get my square in. Oh, I'm getting a bit warm. Let's just pop my fan on. Make sure I've got that the right way around. Yeah. So this paper, this particular pieces of paper that you've got, Pretty Peacock, Berry Burst, and I think that's a bit of Bubble Bath and a bit of Fresh Fusion. Okay, so I'm just going to line them up and hopefully they like continuation. Yeah, okay. And again, I'm putting them on flat because the embroidery hoop is going to be raised on dimensionals, and that would just be too much. So just lining it up, and I do the top one. Make sure that's straight, which it's not. So I'm just lining it up with my grid paper. Okay, and then I'm going to have a gap there, and then I'll do the bottom one, and then I can fit my middle one in. So hopefully they're all equally distant. Just lining it up with the grid paper again. And then my middle square. I just looked at my clock and realised it had stopped, so. There we go. Okay, now I've got the outside of my embroidery hoop in grey granite. Oops, a stray thread there. And then my inside is in soft sea foam. And I stamped Always There and then Thinking of You onto the white, and I've used Lost Lagoon. Oh, see what I did? I did it differently on that one. I used the reverse for the leaves, but actually I quite like having the 3 the same. Now, because they're different inserts, the way I did it was by putting my dimensionals around the edge, but I'm just going to stamp first, and I think I'll do a different sentiment this time, and I'm just going to do it straight onto the green because I can't see my white bit. So I want one that's going to fit. Oh, let's do another birthday wishes. Can never go wrong with birthday wishes. What have I done with it? There it is. And we'll do that in grey granite this time. Yes, lovely jubbly. Okay, so I'm going to take my hoop and just turn it over and then line up my dimensionals to hold them together. And then one in the middle. And then lay that one just across the... Oh, I haven't put my ribbon down. So I've used a bit of Lost Lagoon. It's like a linen. It's really soft and quite floppy. Get my ribbon scissors again. And just have it. I might do it a bit more like one of those ribbons that you see. Don't know what that colour symbolises, but I think that's a bit too long actually. Let's cut some off. All fingers and thumbs. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop my embroidery hoop over there. And there you go. You could, in fact, why don't we use some of the green? Put one at the top there. I'm going to just use the small ones. Try and find the centre of a flower. There. And there. So there you go, that's card 2. So again, I just love the idea of kind of doing it as like a wall hanging sort of thing. So that's card 2. Right, card 3, and our last one for today. How are we doing for time? Whoops. So with this one, it's a thick basic white card base, same as the previous one, 14.85 by 21, scored at 10.5. Let's get the paper on first. So this is the reverse side, so I'm using the leaves in Fresh Freesia. The other side's just a bit busy for me, although I think it would look good in that format. Okay, there's no right or wrong way, or is there actually? There might be some words on there. Yes, there are. but you can't really tell. Okay, so not such a big, so that's the usual 10 by 14.3. And then I've cut this with this is berry burst, and die cut this with the scalloped contours dies. And I'm just going to mark where I need to trim it. So we're just cutting off the edge so that it's going to be even with the edge of the page. And there is a little bit of fussy cutting in this one, I'm afraid, guys. But not a lot. There we go. So, and then I've also embossed another piece of card, and I'm just going to pop that inside the lines, the stitch lines. And then I'll cut off the excess. So you can either do that with your trimmer or with your scissors. I'll just quickly use my trimmer. Okay, and then that's going to go flat up to the edge of the designer series paper. I'll see if there's anything left in here. Yes. Okay, so just line that up with the edge and sort of just eyeballing, which is halfway. There we go. Now I have, this is fresh freesia for my sentiment. I've already fussy cut the big flower, so you didn't have to sit and watch me. Just need to quickly do the little one that's going to go in the middle. And I'm moving the card rather than the scissors. So I've just stamped in berry burst, and that's fresh freesia. So the one that I'm going to post on my blog is, I'll show it to you, but it's a lot of fussy cutting, which is why I decided not to do it today. And then that's just going to go on a mini dimensional. Into the middle. Of that one. There we go. And I need to stamp my sentiment, and I need to stamp that in berry burst, and then I need to punch using the bow punch. So okay, and then what I've used is the metallic sweet sorbet, but because it's metallic I don't think it looks like sweet sorbet at all, and I've just tied a bow with that. Whoa, I must have, yeah, I've got a bit of glue on my finger and it just stuck. Sorry about that. Right, let's try that again. Gosh, my fingers are really hurting. Good job I've got hand therapy soon. Okay. My desk is going to need a really good clean up later. I don't know where that came from. Okay. So I'm just going to pop my bow on with a little bit of glue. Just a little bit of wet glue. At an angle. And dimensionals for the big flower. There we go. I think I did put a pink gem in it, but I haven't got any small ones. So it's not going to be pink, it's going to be yellow. Doesn't look right, so we'll leave that out. Okay, now I just need to stamp my sentiment, and I might need to put a little bit of glue just down the bottom to hold that in place. And I'll get that off with the glue erasers, a little bit of excess. Right, so I need my berry burst, which is here. Obviously, you don't have to stamp in so many different colours. You could just use one like the grey granite or the, you know, black, whatever. And again, I'm just going to, because I've got it out, I'm going to do birthday wishes. And you can never have too many birthday cards after all. There we go. And what I will do is pop a gem at either end of that. And then that's just gone across the bottom there with dimensionals. I don't actually know which is my favourite of these three. I thought it was one and I like the other, and so there's card 3. Okay, so I hope you liked today's projects. Just moving the inks out of the way. So that was card 1. That's using the countryside corners to make a little label. That's card 2. So we did like a hanging wall piece of art with the embroidery hoop. I do love the embroidery hoop actually. And then card 3, kind of cutting off. Again, it kind of looks, it all looks a bit wall hanging-ish to me. So anyway, and don't forget 30% off the kits for the whole of August. And if you earn a bonus coupon, now's the time to spend it. You've got till 31st of August. I'll be back next week. I can't remember what I'm doing next week, but it's something. And I'm trying to get ahead, so I'll be posting things to show you what's coming up. And thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.